Other artists, too, have come to realize that the legacy of Helen Creighton will stand the test of time. John Brown is one of them. He's a local playwright who based his show, The Collector, on the life and work of Dr. Helen Creighton.
She wants her material to be still part of the culture today. I describe it this way in the show. She's given back to the province material that was rightfully theirs in the first place.
Move your elbows, Enos. Got to make room for the biscuits.
Jenny, Miss Creighton here is interested in ghost stories.
Is that right, dear?
Right.
Ah, you came to a grand place, you did.
The Collector was staged twice in the early 80s. The first performance was at Mount St. Vincent University in Halifax when John was a student there. And it was staged again on Citadel Hill for the Friends of the Citadel Society.
I wouldn't want nothing to happen to the lad now, would I? We both heard the thing. It was making just enough noise to keep us awake.
She has saved a whole wealth of material that has been floating around the province for 200 years. And some people may not view that as being such a great feat, but when you take the regular pop song today, 3-minute pop song, which has, what, a life of 15, 20 years, and then it's forgotten about, this material has been floating around the province for 200 years. It's material that grew out of the people themselves.
I offered my arm and she did not refuse. Her arm locked in mine made me feel love's sweet thrill as we walked off together down Citadel Hill.
That's why when I look back at the Creighton material, I say, I'm glad I'm aware of this material 200 years later.
Two big feet sticking up out of the ground. They belonged to a fella named Blake, who had drowned and was buried with his
Feet sticking out.
Well, when we realized there was a dead man beside us, took off out of there in a hurry. You know, I thought a lot about that ghost.
He's an author. He's got a new play happening here in Dartmouth, and it's called The Collector, and I love it. Is it about someone who goes around and collects money that's overdue, John?
Not quite. It's based on Dartmouth's famous folklore collector, Dr. Helen Creighton, and it's how she went about the province collecting all of the material that is now found in her maritime folk songs and her Blue-Nosed Ghosts and her other publications.
And when did you write this?
I wrote it in 1980 as a student at the Mount because Mount St. Vincent University wanted to produce the work. And it was then reproduced at the Friends of the Citadel Dinner Theatre in '86. But this is the first production in Dr. Creighton's hometown of Dartmouth, and I think that's where it really belongs.
And tell us a little bit about it without giving away the whole thing. Give us a little overview here.
Okay. Well, the amazing thing about it is that Dr. Creighton collected Farewell to Nova Scotia in 1933 in West Pepeswick. And in that area, the song was sung in the school systems prior to O Canada. And then when O Canada came in, it sort of got pushed to the back. And what we're trying to do with the song, which is our unofficial anthem of the province, is give the history on how she collected it in that area, and then tell the people what has been done with the song over the past 60 years.
And you said there was something interesting. Of course, Dr. Creighton is no longer with us,
Right.
but you say you often see her in the background. And what does that mean?
Well, she's certainly involved in this production in spirit. And when we did the first production in 1980, she sat through the rehearsal process and helped me with the choice of songs and the choice of words that the different characters said. This being the first production that she's not around for, we've been looking for her, and when something goes absolutely perfect in performance or in rehearsal, we know it's because of her.
That's right.
She's guiding us.
When you research something like this, what kind of time and hours go into it, and what's available?
Well, I was very lucky because I was actually changing airplanes in the Toronto airport when Mary Sparlings, the director of the Mount Art Gallery, said, "Why don't you?" And I said, "Well, show me a book when I come back." And she gave me Dr. Creighton's autobiography, and I took it from there. And Dr. Creighton has about 15 publications, so in one sense that made it easy because the resource material was there, but in another sense there was such a vast amount of material to choose. I had to start by reading the 15 books and then look at the material and think what would work on stage as opposed to the printed page and take it from Dr. Creighton's material. But with her help, I think I found just the right ghost story and the right songs that work well in stage presentation.
You mentioned you had a great deal of luck as well with the musical component. You ran into two people. You want to tell me who they are?
Dawn and Carla are my musical people. They are from the Shabakto Singers, and they're used to singing in harmony, and they were able to take the folk song material and give us that lovely 2-part harmony, and then add even 3- and 4-part harmony with cast members. So it gave that extra edge to Farewell to Nova Scotia, to Drimmin' Down, to Carrion Crow, and other such songs from the Creighton collection.
When you're looking at the cast, when you look for actors, for example, what kinds of characteristics did you look for?
Very versatile actors, because, for instance, Dr. Creighton collected from all over the Atlantic provinces, so the actor or actress in this scene may be telling a folk song or a folk tale from German descent, and then they have to switch into a French character when she collected from down in Acadia, or they may have to go into some Gaelic from Cape Breton. So very versatile actors who can play all of the little mini roles that exist within the structure of the play.
And was that a problem?
No, actually it's a lot of fun, because in rehearsal process you get to experiment with all the different accents and the characters, and you get to laugh your way through it and finally find out what works and what doesn't.
Did you work at the directing of it as well?
This is the first time. It's third time the show's been done, but the first time I directed it myself. And
how did you find that?
Easy and hard, because as an author I have a vision, but as a director with the people involved sometimes you have limitations, so you have to let one go for the other. But I'm very pleased with the way it turned out. It's a very, very good cast, and they work hard at making sure that Dr. Creighton's collection is as authentic as possible.
And it's running, it actually started a few weeks ago.
Started on July 2nd, and it runs Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evenings until August 14th at the Creighton Community Center in Dartmouth.
And where is that, just in case there's
just
somebody
by Sullivan's Pond there.
And the response has been very good, I understand.
The response has been good, yeah.
Does when a play runs that long, when you're doing it 3 nights a week, and I often thought about this when I saw The Phantom of the Opera and Cats. Does the cast get very familiar with the role and slack off, or does it get better? What happens?
That is the danger in a long run, because it just becomes a route, and each week you're just doing the show. But one of the beautiful things about this performance is, with Dr. Creighton collecting over 5,000 different songs from around the province, we can take 10 this week, and we can drop 2 next week and add 3 more, and we can get to vary the script from week to week because of the song material, and always keep it fresh.
Oh, well, that's good for the cast. Well, in between, and you started in July right through to August, do you still rehearse each week before the Thursday,
Yes.
Friday, Saturday?
Yeah. We have an hour rehearsal each Thursday evening to make sure that it is back up to where it was when we left it the Saturday before.
And what do you see yourself doing after this?
Well, as soon as this show's over, I'm leaving for Niagara Falls, because I wrote a musical based on Leslie Gore's career, and it is premiering in Niagara Falls.
Leslie Gore of It's My Party fame.
Did you ever wonder what happened to Johnny and Judy? Well, that show tells you.
I love it. And how long will you be there for?
For 3 weeks. I want to see the run up there. Yeah.
And you actually wrote the play for that as well?
Yes, following the storyline that was so evident in It's My Party and Judy's Turn to Cry.
So how do you go from Helen Creighton to Leslie Gore?
It's a pretty big gamut, but actually Catherine McKinnon recorded Farewell to Nova Scotia in 1963, and Leslie Gore recorded It's My Party in 1963. So I think it's these 30th anniversaries.
So they tie together. I mean, there's no problem.
It'll work.
So, until August the 14th, you can actually see The Collector. I love the name, by the way.
Thank you.
And it's playing at the Helen Creighton
Community Center,
The
Sullivan's Pond.
in Sullivan's Pond. And it starts
It starts at 8 o'clock.
on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So good luck now. When you come back from Niagara Falls, can we talk to you again?
Sure.
Because I'd love to hear how Johnny and Judy are doing.
It's a secret.
I've been talking to John Brown, who's a playwright and author, and he's had some very successful plays. He's been staged. In fact, you were part of the whole Christmas production that we had here last year
That's
at
right,
Mac
Woody.
Hall, the Woody, and I brought my little boy to that, and he just loved it. He was one of the ones that actually practically crawled onto the set. Thanks for
Helen
being with
Creighton
us.
is the subject of a new musical in Halifax. The production is called The Collector, and it's also the debut of Metro's newest dinner theater. With more, ATV's Kristen Tynes joins us with the details. Kristen.
Well, Janice, I don't know about you, but a dinner and a show is a perfect night out for me. And now theater lovers can get a 3-course meal, live entertainment, and learn something about our most famous folklorist down at the Downstage Center Dinner Theater at the Halifax Westin Hotel. And tonight is the theater's opening gala. It has music. Dancing, and follows the life of Nova Scotia's most famous folklorist, Dr. Helen Creighton. The Collector is written and directed by John Brown and traces Creighton's steps across the province as she gathers the more than 10,000 folk songs and stories that would make her famous. Songs like the well-known Farewell to Nova Scotia.
Farewell to Nova Scotia, the sea round floats, let your mountains roar and clear all they be.
People love her. Everybody loves her. I mean, she collected from everybody, you know. All the cultures in Nova Scotia are covered in her collection.
She's done so much. It's collected so much, and really, that's her life work.
The musical is the debut performance for Downstage Centre Productions, Halifax's newest dinner theatre. The venue opened its doors at the recently reopened Westin Nova Scotia Hotel July 1st. Tonight is the gala opening. Rob Evans is Director of Operations at the hotel. He says the dinner theatre and the musical are a welcome addition to the revitalized hotel.
It seems Helen is, she is gone, but she's here in spirit, because all her life she revived things that were gone and missing, and she has now had this room reopened as well, so it's exciting.
In addition to being the newest dinner theatre on the Halifax scene, Downstage Centre Productions says it's also offering a new approach to dining entertainment.
It's classic dining. You're served by waiters and waitresses, and it's a 3-course meal. You sit down, you enjoy your meal, and then once all the dishes and cups are cleared away, then the show begins.
Dinner is provided by the Westin Hotel and runs from 7 to 9 p.m. The musical starts at 9. The Collector is on stage Tuesdays through Saturday until August 1st. Now, Janice, there are 3 ways to enjoy this dinner show. You can go at 7 and have dinner in the show. Tickets are $34.50. You could go at 8:30 and have dessert in the show. Tickets for that are $19.50. Or you could show up at 9 and just have drinks in the show, and tickets are $11.50.
That's a hard decision. Sounds great to me. Thanks a lot, Kristen.
You're welcome.
That sounds like a pretty good time. On stage August 1st through the 8th at the Westin Nova Scotia in Halifax, a new dinner theater show. Well, actually, it's an old dinner theater show. It's The Collector, the story of Helen Creighton, the famous Nova Scotian who collected poems and songs of Nova Scotia, including Farewell Nova Scotia, which sat in a bedroom drawer for years, until she gave it to Catherine McKinnon, who made it a national hit on Sing Along Jubilee. John Brown wrote the original 20 years ago, and he's resurrected the show at the Westin.
Yes, actually, I worked with Helen very much on the original. She was still around with us then, and she was very, very conscious that the show represented her collecting in the proper light, so we still feel her around here today.
Again, that's August 1st through the 8th at the Westin Nova Scotia, and you can call the Westin for details on show packages.